Hi, everyone. My name is Mrs. Obsosnik, and I'll be your Algebra 2 teacher this year. I just wanted to take today to introduce myself and just walk you through the basics of my Schoology page and talk to you about kind of the video conferencing and then course expectations. So when you log into Schoology, you should find that you have an option for Algebra 2. So you'll click on that course page, and then your screen will look similar to this one. I'm just in teacher view. You'll be in student view. So here I have just a banner with the course name and my name, and then everything underneath that banner is a little button. So like if you click on this button here where it says course information, that's going to take you to our syllabus and any other just general course documents. This here will take you to your textbook website. It's just not linked yet because we're still working on that, but it should be linked soon. You guys just don't need a textbook until we get that all worked out for you. Right underneath there, it says this week's work. This is also a button. If you click on this week's work, it's going to open up a Google Doc for you that's going to be a chart of everything that you're expected to do for the week. And then things will be linked in that chart where appropriate. So if there's a video that I need you to watch, it'll be linked in that chart. Or if there's a worksheet, the link to that worksheet will be in that chart. So that's really going to be a good place for you to go to see everything that you need and what's expected to be turned in and all of those sorts of items. Underneath, there are some more buttons that kind of tie to everything that's going to be in this week's work. So if you want to go down here to find items, you can find them here as well. So current unit will take you to everything that we're currently working on. So we'll be starting the review or the year with a review of some stuff from Algebra 1, solving linear equations and linear inequalities. So all of those documents will go into that current unit button. Again, everything will be linked that you need for the week under this week's work. Any worksheets that you need are going to be under that tab. Notes are going to house any PowerPoint files or any video notes that I have for you. So those will all be in that notes button. And then previous units, I'll just archive everything in there. So if you want to go back and look at something later this year from, say, Chapter 2, you'll be able to find that in that previous units button. And then down below, if you're more of a folder person, you can see everything organized here in folders. So that's just another option for you to get to the same course materials. So a few things that I do want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about opening Schoology in an app, say on your phone or a tablet. If you are going to use your phone or tablet, it will look a little bit different. So I have here a screenshot of the Algebra 2 course page from my cell phone. So this here does not look like what I just showed you. If you open on your Chromebook, it's going to look like what I just shared, where we've got the colorful buttons. Otherwise, you're just going to see this view here. And so I tried to make it a little bit easier for you. At the very top, I put a link to this week's work. So if you click there, it's going to take you to that same Google Doc that I was talking about before, where it will then link to all of the assignments that you need for the week. WebEx here is going to be our video conference tool, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. It is also on the web page as well, so you see WebEx there. And then you've got your folders. So it does match up with what's there. It just doesn't have all of the kind of prettier buttons that we have on the web. Okay, so I do want to talk to you about course expectations. I'm going to pull up the syllabus here, which is in course information. And so some of the stuff that's on the syllabus here is going to refer to if we're in the classroom. So just kind of keep that in mind, that it talks about things like treating the classroom with respect. Obviously, that doesn't apply when you are learning from home. Okay, so first expectation is that you're an active learner in the classroom. So participate if we're doing a video conference and I ask you to respond to a poll question, or if there's a question embedded in a PowerPoint slide, give your honest response. So the more you participate, the more we're all going to get out of this course. And then make sure that you ask for help. Everything's going to build concept-wise throughout the course of the year, so it is cumulative. So the sooner you ask for help when you find yourself struggling, the better. As far as asking for help goes, you have a couple of options. So we are learning synchronously, which means you'll be on a video conference with me about every other day. You have asynchronous days on Friday. So if you want to save your questions for our synchronous meetings, that's fine. We can go ahead and first thing in the meeting, talk about any questions from prior assignments. I can turn the camera towards the whiteboard in the classroom and work those problems out. So there are ways for us to go ahead and answer that like we would in a traditional classroom setting. However, if you really find yourself struggling and you know your next synchronous meeting isn't until the following week, because maybe it's Thursday and you're off on, Friday, and then you have the weekend, you can send me an email or you can send me a message through Schoology. You can even take a picture of the work that you're working on and send it to me and say, this is where I'm getting hung up. And then I will do my best to either send you a video with a response, or if I can type back a response, something to get you some help before that next synchronous meeting. So just make sure you ask for help when you need it, and know that you don't have to wait until you see me in a meeting to get your questions answered. Make sure that you're prepared for class. So everything here really talks about, coming into the classroom and taking a seat. Obviously, we're not doing that right now. We're meeting virtually. So just make sure that you're on time for those virtual meetings on synchronous days. And then just make sure that you are turning in work on time. I have everything set to be turned in by 7:30 a.m. the following day, unless I tell you otherwise. So homework would just be due by the beginning of the next school day. Make sure you're respectful of everybody. I know that this might be a little bit strange at first when we're doing these virtual meetings, but try your best to come into the meeting. I'll have you join the virtual meetings muted, and keep yourself muted unless you're actually speaking, so that it doesn't get any, lots of background noise or echoing, those sorts of things. So that's kind of the biggest thing about being respectful at this point when we're doing virtual meetings. And then as far as homework goes, homework dates and times, like I said, are going to be communicated through Schoology. And then when we come back to the classroom, you're just expected to have that homework complete by the beginning of the next class period. We are going to go over homework as soon as possible. So either I will be sending you solutions, or we'll be discussing solutions in synchronous meetings. So because we go over those assignments right away, late work's not going to be accepted. So just make sure you have things turned in by, like I said, the beginning of the next school day. As far as your assessments go, we'll have some tests and quizzes in here. I'll always let you know about those in advance. And then just know that your virtual assessments are going to have a time limit. So it would be maybe on a synchronous day, and it's going to open during our period start time, and then it's going to end at the end of the period time. So just make sure that you're prepared to take those timed assessments, and that you're not kind of walking around your house doing other things during test time. As far as makeup work goes, it's the same as it is if you were in the classroom. If you are absent from school because you're sick, you have that number of days to turn in the work. Your textbook's going to be available online, and I will get you the information about your access code and the website as soon as I get that information. And we won't be using the textbook for the review, so don't stress about not having a textbook at this point in time. We'll have it by the time we need it. And then just everything else follows the student handbook. So the other thing that I did want to show you today is back on our course page. I just wanted to show you how that WebEx looks so that you know what to expect for your virtual meeting. If I scroll down to where that WebEx link is, I'm going to go ahead and click on this. And it's going to take a second to load here. So when WebEx loads, you'll see a couple of tabs here. We want the virtual meetings tab. And then when you click on that, again, your screen will look a little bit different than mine because you're going to be joining the meeting, not hosting the meeting. But you do see here we have period 4 Algebra 2. This time change, or start time, will change to our period 4 start time. So I'll fix that. And then instead of host, you would see join. So you'll just click the join option. And then if you're working on your Chromebook, you're going to participate through your browser. If you have a desktop computer or maybe a MacBook or something that you're working on from home, you can use or download the app. I think the app just doesn't work with the Chromebook, so you'll join through your browser. And then that'll put you into a virtual meeting. It's similar to something like Zoom or Google Hangouts or those types of platforms if you've used those in the past. So the only other thing that I have for you today is that if you go to the This Week's Work on our course page and click on that, there's going to be a link to a Flipgrid for you to just do a quick intro of yourself. So just let me know your name, maybe something that you're looking forward to this year, and any interests that you have, just so that we can all kind of put faces with names, since we won't be meeting in the classroom at this point.